Okay, here's the car. You can see all the sensors around it and on top of it. The Waymo car. You can see there's no driver. You can see all these sensors. And now I'm gonna unlock it with my app and get in.
Give us 1 minute.
Okay, so it's driving. Here we go. See, there's pedestrians.
The need to buckle up is the same as always. So keep your seatbelt fastened, please.
It's kind of crazy.
If you're traveling with little ones or expecting, please see the seatback card.
So the light just turned green. It's turning left. Said the car told me not to touch the steering wheel or the pedals. But you can see there's this guy is here. There's a car coming, but it's reading all of that. There's a bus.
So sing your heart out.
So it senses all of that. It's still driving just fine. You scared, Mrs. Williams?
I'm surviving.
There's all these tracks in the road in San Francisco that have that trolleys and electric buses and subways take, and they crisscross all over. So there's all these things this car has to read, showing you what we're doing here. And we're gonna go up the steep hill of San Francisco on top of Nob Hill and to the building where the conference is that we're attending. It's a education conference on learning and the brain, how kids learn. So Mrs. Williams, our K, here we go, we're turning right. It's got the blinker on, it's waiting for that pedestrian right there. And then it went. The car is sensing that with all these sensors. It sensed this car right here that was stopped, and it just changed lanes. Now it's going back around, it went right around that car. Slowed down through here because it sensed something. There's a car right there with the lady that's about to walk around it. It went around her. Now it's turning right. Are you scared, Mrs. Williams? You're awfully quiet back there.
I'm just watching.
There's some pedestrians right out in front of us, so it waited. It slowed down and stopped momentarily. It senses everything. So this is AI technology in play. This car is sensing everything around us and driving us all the way up into downtown San Francisco up here from the wharf down there. In a complicated driving area, even for a human. So it's coming to a stop here. It sensed that car turning left in front of us and it kind of slowed down a little bit, making sure everything was good. We've been driving for 3 minutes and 30 seconds so far and gone. We're almost up to the top, and it's 1.5 miles, if I remember right. Maybe 2 miles. These steep hills, you can barely see over the hood. There's cross traffic here, so the car had to look up and this steep hill. Look how steep these hills are going up in San Francisco. All these cars parked on a hard angle. Car in front of us, it's reading that. Now it's going to edge up to this stop sign and go. There's a pedestrian over there, monitored. I think it flattens out here for a bit and then we go up another steep hill to the top of Nob Hill. Arrival in 5 minutes. What are your impressions, Mrs. Williams?
I'm impressed. I'm still alive.
I said, we can make a field trip out of this for all the students at Wyoming Virtual Academy. And she said, but what if I die? I said, well, it'll be an awfully interesting field trip. San Francisco has all these narrow streets. Like I keep saying, it's just such a complex city for a driverless car to be driving in. I mean, a car just cut in front of us there, and it's going to stop right there, I think. Yeah, there's a stopped van up there. So this would be tricky for even a new driver. These two cars, this one's turning, but this thing's reading everything. So there's two guys standing in front of us and this driverless car. I mean, they're at the mercy of this car that's being driven by a computer. It could have just slammed into them, but instead it goes right around them. Sorry, I'm trying to get my screen right here. There's some trolley tracks that come through here, so it had to sense whether there's trolleys coming. And I think our hotel's right up here, I believe. It's a big conference center. It's called the Fairmont, and presidents and all kinds of stuff important people come here to have meetings. The United Nations Charter was signed here in 1945. So here's another example of this guy and this thing. This car is going around that, making sure it doesn't hit that guy coming at us. We've got 2 minutes till it gets us to where we're going. Oop, there's a car that just cut in front of us, but it slowed down and let it go. Mrs. Williams is freaking out. That guy in front of us slipped through last second, as some people will when they're driving, like, oh, there's a gap, I'm gonna shoot it, and pulled through it, and this car sensed it and just slowed down a little bit. So this is cool. It's still weird to turn to your left and nobody's driving and the wheels turning. Oh, we're making a left turn across 4 trolley tracks that are active. There we go. It's February in San Francisco and the blossoms are budding in the trees and everybody's pointing at this car like we were as we walked around the city we have a bunch of teachers with us who we're going to go meet up with again. We're all like, look at those cars, there's nobody driving them, and it's such a novelty to see these things, especially in like I said, a complicated city like this. So this intersection has people coming from all different directions, trolley tracks, people turning left and right. And this thing is sensing everything. There's a car there, a car there. Now we have a whole bunch of pedestrians. I'm wondering if it's gonna pull up.
Right away. Grab your stuff now.
I'm wondering if it's gonna pull up in the front there, under the canopy. That'll be interesting. We'll see. Because there's a pull-in area for the people checking into the Fairmont, where all the meetings are being held. There's our teachers right there on the corner. Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Opitz, Mrs. Cass. Oh, it didn't pull in. I think it's gonna drop us right here. Oh. All right, here we are. That's it.
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting.
That's it, guys. What did you think, Mrs. Williams?
I'm actually sweating,
Jeez. Her heart's pounding.
but that was an experience. It was good for me.
That's AI technology. That's the future, guys. So I'm up here in the top of the hotel looking out this cool window, and you can see the San Francisco, Oakland Bay back in there. With those ships out there. But this is some of San Francisco. It's about half of it. The city. And that's what that car was driving around in. And there's just people and vehicles everywhere, and trolleys and electric buses. But it's crazy that that AI technology, the car can drive all through there just fine with everything that's going on.